Hi, this is Jeff from the Ozark Mountains in Missouri, USA. Well, we're back over at the retro kitchen table turned retro computer table, which can only mean one thing. That's right, it's time for another Ferengi Friday, where we take a look at the recent acquisitions that have made their way into the shop. You'll notice that we're doing the intro from the opposite angle. That's because I've got this big gray cabinet right here, which used to be in the other room because I rearranged the other room and put some shelves up. Maybe we'll take a look at that. And there is not a TRS-80 Model 2 or 12 in this corner because I now have a place to store those, which is great. We've got a few things here today. I left this guy in the box just to illustrate how comically large it is compared to the thing it was designed to connect to. So, let's get started. Thanks to PCBWay for sponsoring this video. They not only do PCBs and flex PCBs, they also have 3D printing service, injection molding service. They do CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication. They also have a thriving maker community where you can share projects and check out what other people are doing. For your next project, head on over to PCBWay. Well, here we have a Sharp EL5500T with text. This EL5500 line was only the name for these products in the US. What this is really a PC 1401 with only 2K instead of 4K of RAM. Then you get into the 5502, which is like the 1401, and the 5503, which is like the PC 1403. I'm not sure why they did this -T with text, because that's only on the box. It's not on the manual or the computer itself. My only guess is they were trying to differentiate it from the earlier EL5100 series. You know, to say, hey, this is now, instead of just a programmable calculator, it's a full, scientific computer. Got this from Facebook Marketplace. I did not pay that much for it. Got a really good deal on it, even with shipping. This sticker is rather stuck down though, so I need to find a way to remove that without damaging the box. Maybe a little bit of heat. And well, let's look at the other sides of the box. You got your classic Sharp gray. That's about it. This front side is the only thing that's really exciting. Optional printer cassette interface. We open it up and we see the little plastic tray holding the computer itself. And it doesn't come across real great on video, but this clear plastic is now slightly yellowed plastic, which is interesting. I've got the little quick reference guide here. That is just in like new condition. I don't know if that's ever been opened. There is the name sticker, brand new, never been used. Go ahead and drop that in there. It came with batteries in it, and it works just fine. 3025, you can put it in basic mode. Now it's in basic run, basic programming. I don't think there's a program in it. Nope, but we can go 10 space. Where's print at? Shift print quotes. Hey space BIRT shift quotes. Enter 20 space go to 10. Everybody's favorite test program. And we'll go back to run mode. And I thought this had a hotkey for run. Oh, it does. Hey Bert, hey Bert, hey Bert, hey Bert. That was pretty exciting, wasn't it? Okay. The unit itself is in excellent condition. Serial number 37013740. Fabrico Japan. contrast knob works good. And you notice how I turn it up, you might just be able to see a little extra darkening in this area. The top polarization film is showing a little darkening right there in the middle. It's not in the LCD itself, thankfully. So this is in great shape. The cover's in great shape. It has a little error guide in here, and it tells you how to put the cover on, which I guess that's a good place for it, because you don't need to know how to put the cover on until you take the cover off. But the cover is designed so you can flop it around like that and use it. And you can put it on to protect the keyboard. And oh, I didn't think I had the cover on there right, but the thing is the bottom cover's not on right. It's not latched in. Those little hooks to right there. I'll have to fix that. And one of the screws is missing. I do have some replacement screws though. Comes with 2 books. Applications for the EL5500 scientific computer. So what do we have in here? Oh, this tells you about the basic commands, basic mode, using it as a calculator, and then the EL5500 reference manual itself, the classic sharp colors. Still has the warranty registration, some errata for the manual, again in very good shape. Tells you all about basic again. So a friend of mine pointed this out to me, and it was a good deal, so I went ahead and got it. These are hard to find in the US, let alone if you're outside the US trying to find them. So with box and everything, that's a great deal. Just need to get this silly sticker off of here. Oh, what's next? How about another sharp? Okay, so you know me and pocket computers, especially PC 1500s, but this says the Evaluator by Cornerstones. If we open this guy up, well, this is like a PC 1500 or PC 1500A with a different sticker poked on there. And it has 2 custom ROMs in heavy-duty metal containers. It had some Velcro type stuff stuck on here with a label on the bottom, and the label is, this says Dryers something Evaluator. Can't really read that anymore. From Cornerstones in Brunswick, Maine. And you notice it's got the 60-pin connector to plug into the back of the CE150 or to the side of the computer itself. The CE150 also has a custom badge on it. So this is gas heating evaluation. So this is to do calculations pertaining to HVAC work. This is forced air system sizing. Same type of thing. I did not need another PC 1500, but I like collecting these not only private labeled systems, but also the ROMs. I'll do another episode in the near future about these types of ROMs and how to download everything from them. If we look at the computer, it pops off there like that. I can look inside. There is no RAM module, and it's still got the factory little paper in there. I'll get a screwdriver so we can see if there's battery still in here, and then I'll need to pop the rechargeable battery out of the CE150 too. Okay, so just need to loosen up this flathead screw right here. These have a wide slot in the head. It's designed so you can take them out with a coin. And well, those HVAC Industrial, those look fairly new, but it does not turn on. And I don't see any corrosion in there. That's good news. So I brought over some batteries so we can try. Hey, look at that. See if I can get it where the reflection's not too bad. New 0. Or is it the mem command? 1850. So this must be a PC 1500. 1500A has a little more memory. So the computer itself works. That's excellent. I do need to pop the rechargeable battery out of this. We'll do that real quick and see what kind of condition it's in. Let me get stuff rearranged here. Real quickly, we'll go through the process of removing the battery from this E150. There are 6 screws around the periphery, 3 toward the center that are a little smaller. Sometimes the cover is a little difficult to get off. Using a spudger really helps out here. Then there are 2 screws that hold the battery clamp down. Those have ground wires on them. Clip the battery loose and then put everything back together. Luckily, this one is in really good shape and it did not corrode at all. About 25% of the time it corrodes and ruins the whole unit. I'm going to try filming this again the first time my microphone battery died. This says TCI Automotive, TCI 9000, TCI Scientific Computer Station. Kit contains Sharp Scientific Computer, Sharp Thermal Printer, Sling Psychometer, Barometer, and instructions. Identical sticker here. And we'll open this up on the inside. And what we see in here are some handwritten instructions that the original owner must have written on how to use it. Pretty nice little manual. TCI Automotive, TCI 9000 tells you how to use it and what it does. The purpose of this thing is, they call it the weather station computer. You take some weather readings with the instruments provided here. You type in some information about your race car, and it will do some calculations for optimal jetting and things like that for your carburetor. So, quite interesting. We've got the EL5503 service manual. So this is the better version of the EL5500 we just looked at a little while ago. And we've got the warranty registration card, some ad for selling more software. This is a Sling Psychrometer instruction little booklet here. The last time I used one of these, I think I was in 6th grade. But it was kind of fun. And there is the little manual for the printer and cassette interface. And some printouts from this unit that show what they did. They were at the US 60 or US 13 Dragway in Delmar, Delaware. 5th Annual Foot Brake Nationals, October 13th, 1996, Super Sunday at 1:19 p.m. 6th of October, 96. There's a 11:19 the same day. So that's all the calculations that they printed out. 4:32 p.m. the same day. Some directions there. And 3:30 p.m. the same day. So interesting. There's some examples of how it was used. Unfortunately, there is a note in the manual here that says, "Oh, if the batteries die, send it back into us to have the program loaded on it." Yep, another one of those early pocket computer where the program you bought was in RAM, and if your battery died, you lost it. But the unit itself is in really good shape, except for it's got a P scratched in here, which is unfortunate. It works. You can see there, maybe beside the reflection, 55 times 55. It's got basic mode, just like the other one, but if we go into basic mode and we list There's nothing there. I have tried searching for TCI Automotive. The only thing it comes up with is a place that sells transmissions and stuff like that for race cars. So I don't know. And since this said that was a trademark name, I checked the trademark registry. I didn't come up with anything except the transmission place. In addition to the computer in this nice box with the foam inserts, we've got a Springfield made in the USA barometer. So it's obviously not doing anything in this box. This is a plastic housing that comes with this little key thing on the back. Turn for initial adjustment. That's never been turned. So, or maybe it has. Maybe they're talking about turning this part. I don't know. Then we've got the sling slicometer. Not quite sure how I'm supposed to pronounce that. It's been so long since I've used one of these devices. As I recall, you wet this right here. So you've got a wet thermometer, basically a dry thermometer. And there's somewhere you attach a cord to this and you sling it around and slide something or do something to you read between the wet bulb and dry bulb to determine the relative humidity. That is explained in the little pamphlet, I'm guessing. Got a couple extra rolls of paper, the cassette interface cables, a little rubber gasket for the printer, DIY overlay for the keyboard. These are some spare wicks from the Taylor Thermometer Corporation of America in Fletcher, North Carolina, a Figge International company. It was even printed in the USA. Those were the days. So some spare parts. And here we have the printer cassette interface. Looking nearly brand new. I think the seller put batteries in this because we can go like that. This is the remote switch for the cassette interface, which goes on this side. Takes some AA batteries right there. Those are fairly new looking batteries. Zinc chloride batteries made in China. Okay. Pretty nifty little unit. This was listed for sale on eBay in a very strange way. This is another one that my friend Chris pointed out to me. It was listed in a strange way, so it didn't go for a whole lot, and it's a good example of kind of the experimentation people were doing with marketing, you know, special purpose pocket computers back in the day. I find it quite interesting. I wish I could find the software for this. So if you know anything about this TCI Automotive, or if you've seen one of these before, or even checked the Wayback Machine, if I didn't mention that already, found nothing there. They put a lot of effort into this with the case and the foam inserts and everything like that. And I don't know if I can get it here in the shot. There we go. That says 2 of 86 right there. So maybe that's when the case was molded. Oh, it's hard to snap. There we go. That's probably quite a loud pop on the camera. It's the rest of the case, not much to it. Just blow molded heavy duty plastic case. So that's a nice unit. I would love to be able to find the software for this. So maybe that'll turn up someday. Now we've got the big box. It's about 18 inches long by 12 inches by 12 inches. Weighs more than 10 pounds. And keep in mind, this is an accessory for a portable computer. It is much larger and heavier than the computer itself. So I'll get it open and we'll take a look inside. Here is the unit out of the box, along with one of the computers that it attaches to. This is an Epson HX20. This will also work with a Epson PX8. As you can see, It is larger than the computer in almost every dimension and weighs about 5 times as much. Of course, this is an Epson TF-20 dual 5 1/4 inch floppy disk drive. And this must have a humongous transformer in the back because it weighs an absolute ton. To give you an idea on size comparison, this is the universal backpack drive, or this one's actually a backpack drive plus the previous generation. Anyhow, this guy does everything that this guy does, only this is a modern version. So let's have a closer look at this thing. So here's the front of the unit. Let's get a funny eject button there, but it's got the drive cards in it, which is nice. A friend of mine named Chris gave this to me, which was very nice of him. He said one of the drives will work, one doesn't, so we need to fix those up. Maybe it needs a belt or something. Drag this thing around here on the back. We have a power cord, of course, power switch, the DIN cables, which goes to the computer, and I don't recall what this guy's for. So some type of other port, maybe for daisy chaining some other device to it. The back says HX20, Epson TF-20, model F200A, serial number 110601, made in Japan. Now, interestingly, this disk drive is a computer in its own right. It actually has a very stripped down version of the CP/M operating system running on the computer inside this. So it's more powerful than the HX20 by all rights. The HX20 uses 2 little 6800 based processors. The PX8 is a CP/M machine, which actually has 3 processors in it, a Z80 and a couple custom ones. So very interesting unit, you know, like Commodore and Atari. They built a computer into the disk drive to control it because that's what you did then. It weighs a ton, so we'll do another episode on this where we tear it apart and get it all working and connect it to either an HX20 or PX8 and see how it works. One other thing I wanted to show, see if I can whiteify this. Nope, that's about it. This is an old copy of Popular Computing that has the work slate on the front. My friend included this, which I thought was awfully cool. It's a really good copy, and it's got a very interesting portable computer featured on it. Oh, look at that, the TRS-80 Model 4P. Did a video on those a while back too. Well, pretty good little haul here. Thanks to Chris for this TF-20. We'll do a video and get that fixed up in the near future. And the bonus magazine, that's neat. I'm going to read that. We've got a couple interesting private label Sharp Pocket computers. One was for the HVAC industry for doing calculations for sizing HVAC systems. One is for racing, for ostensibly jetting carburetors, it looks like. Kids today probably won't know what a carburetor is on a car. And then we have the US version of the PC1401, the EL5500T. So it was interesting to see, you know, this and then the 5503, which are the same computer with a later one having more memory and a little more capabilities. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's been a lot of fun going through this stuff. Wish I could find out some more information about this TCI 9000. No luck as of yet. There's not even an address in any of that documentation, so who knows. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them in that comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. Thanks to everyone who helps support the channel. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, bye.